Hi, today I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why you need to have an agenda at all of your IEP meetings. My name is Kimberly Jacobs. I've been teaching for 35 years. I'm a mentor in real life, and now I'm doing a mentor on YouTube. I'm lessonsinabubble.com, so if you want to follow on the channel here on YouTube or start getting a newsletter with tips and tricks, I invite you to do that. But today, let's talk about that IEP meeting agenda. There are 3 really important reasons why you should always have one. First of all, when you present the team a couple of copies of that IEP agenda, so I leave one kind of for the teachers, one for the parent, one for the admin, one for myself. When they see that there's an agenda, they all feel like you're taking this seriously and their time is not going to be wasted in the meeting. Parents are there for their children, but they're busy too. Teachers are there because, luck of the draw, that student ended up in their classroom. So we need to respect everybody's time. We need to respect their opinion, and we need to value the idea that there's certain things we're going to cover. It's going to be organized. We're not going to have side conversations about dogs. We're not going to talk about their brothers. Well, sometimes I talk about my brother. He was crazy ADHD, but now he's a welder, works outside with fire. He's cool. So we don't want to have bird walks. Having an agenda helps everybody stick to the plan of get through the meeting, talk about present levels, and draft the services and goals to help move this student forward in the next coming year. Number 2 reason why you need to have an IEP and an agenda is it's a place for everybody to take notes. When something pops into their head, they'll blurt. I know we always talk about the students blurting and how bad that is, but adults in a meeting, if they're afraid they're going to lose their thought, they too will blurt. If they have a piece of paper with the agenda in front of them, they can jot down their note or their question to remember it until the other person is finished speaking. It will make the meetings friendlier, more effective, because there won't be crosstalk and interruption. So taking notes. And number 2 has a part B. What if you're the facilitator and the note taker for the meeting? Taking notes on a piece of paper is friendlier for parents. It's not like you're hiding anything. I project my IEP, so my computer's being used, and I wouldn't want to switch back and forth from the note page to the IEP draft that's being projected. So I take the notes right on the agenda because we're going in order, and so anything relevant or important, I can just note down who said it, what they said, or what decision the team made if there's something different from that original draft. So it's an organizer for your notes. Then you can type them up quickly and get them back to parents efficiently. And the number 3 reason why you really want to do it, have that IEP meeting agenda, and there's an A, B, and C to this one. A, you might be anxious in the meeting. Whether you're anxious because there are a lot of adults and you're not used to speaking to a lot of adults, because there are tons of teachers out there that are wonderful, 60, 70, 80 students, they're fine, they're calm, they're confident in what they have to say. They get more than 3 adults in a room, or their boss is in the room, or a parent that they've never met before can cause them anxiety. When you get anxious, parts of your brain go without oxygen. Having that agenda will remind you what you need to do. You don't need to be anxious. You are confident. You're professional. You planned this meeting. You have all the little elements that we're going to talk about during the meeting, so there's no reason to panic. Keep you from being anxious. The number 2 reason is parents can sometimes come in with concerns and questions, and they're agitated, maybe even aggressive with their emotions on the situation that's going at school that you had no idea. If you're sitting there and you hear this coming at you, kind of their aggressive questioning, you can start to get defensive. You don't want to be defensive. When we're defensive, again, parts of our brain shut down. When parents come with questions and concerns, because that's my number 1 question on the IEP, do they have any? I can listen, write down what I'm hearing are their questions and concerns, let them know, okay, I hear you're worried about A and B. We're going to talk about that when we get to the other sections of the IEP. Thank you for bringing that up. We will make sure we talk about it. It gives you a time to decompress. If that adrenaline started pumping through your body, it gives time for that adrenaline to go down. So when you get to the section of the IEP that addresses their question or concerns, You don't have to be on the defensive. And the parents saw you write the note down, so they don't have to have anxiety and that you're trying to dodge the question. They saw you write it down in your notes. You're not going to avoid it. You're just going to talk about it when it comes up in the agenda. Makes them feel safe, makes them feel heard, and it allows you to relax. The third thing, so this is C for part 3, reasons why you should have an agenda at every IEP meeting, is teachers sometimes go to school and hold meetings when they don't really feel well. So I don't know about you. I have allergies. I will take Advil cold and sinus. They're not paying me to say that. And sometimes it'll give me like a little foggy brain, like I'm too tired, like I just ran a mile and I'm out of oxygen. So when I have that agenda that I prepped right after I drafted the IEP for the meeting, it helps me stay focused if there's no focus left in my brain. Maybe I had a bad day. Maybe a kid just got hurt at the recess duty. Maybe I took cold medicine and I'm feeling kind of foggy. Maybe I have a 2-year-old and I only slept for 3 hours. When you have that agenda, it's okay because you have a tool that you can rely on to make sure you hit all the important points. You don't need to be anxious. You don't need to worry. You're a professional. You have a plan. We have an agenda. We're going to get through the agenda efficiently so everybody feels heard, valued. They leave on time. You have great notes. An IEP agenda will do that for you. And then side tip, it takes about 8 seconds to pull up a template of an IEP agenda, change the date, change the student's name so it's personalized, makes the parents understand that you care about your child, that they aren't just a cog in a wheel. So I have 4 templates. I pick the one that's appropriate for the meeting, change the name, change the date, print out a copy for the parent, for the admin, for the group of teachers, and for myself, minimum. So write that IEP agenda. Don't try to save 20 seconds and not do it and then end up anxious and flustered at a meeting. That's my advice. I'm Kimberly Jacobs, been teaching for 35 years, and I have tips and tricks about all those things IEP. So subscribe to the channel or join the newsletter at lessonsinabubble.com. Have a great night.